Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to, at last, the final intermission for Let's Play Steven Universe Save the Light. Finally got everything done that I wanted to do for this LP, and it will all be here in this last 40-ish minute episode. This will include the last two endings, which the ending I showed off in the LP would be, I guess, the canonical ending. And I thought there was only one other ending, but there's actually two other endings, so we're going to see them here. I am going to use this final episode just to kind of talk a little bit about, well, I'll get into some of the stuff with what's going on, but mainly just to kind of talk about the show and some other things, because this is one of my favorite shows, and I will take any excuse I can to talk about it. And what I'm going to start with is, I was going to touch on it at the end of the finale, but I decided not to because I didn't want the finale to drag. Steven Universe, Rebecca Sugar is... She has said in an interview that she wants to bring... I always get the two letters mixed up because I'm an idiot, but she wants to expose kids to LGBTQ themes through her family-friendly, for the most part, cartoons. And she does a fantastic job of it with Steven Universe. I mean, the gems themselves are non-binary. Although they use female pronouns, they are non-binary. Stevani uses they-them pronouns. Smoky Quartz uses they-them pronouns. There's a lot of representation for non-binary, transgender, lesbian, gay in Steven Universe, and it's done in a way that is easy. I don't want to say easy, but that it's accessible to kids. Because unfortunately, we live in a time where people can't accept or don't understand non-binary or gays or lesbians or transgender people, and that's unfortunate that people can't understand those groups. That is, it's not something I talk about a lot, so it's not something I'm knowledgeable of. So feel free to educate me. I'm always willing to learn. I don't know many transgender people. I know two, and it's been a long time since we've talked because we've just moved apart. They live other places now, and I'm horrible at getting in touch with people. But Rebecca Sugar is fantastic at doing that. She herself has said that she is non-binary, though she will also accept she and her pronouns. Yeah, so we're gonna go through one more ending.
Let's do it, team.
And it's the bad ending, I guess, because this is like the semi-good ending. Or no, there's four endings to... Wait a minute. Anyway, we can listen to Tom Sharpling sing. Yeah.
Adventure is not my nature, but
I'm more interested in those riffs, but beside the point. See if there's anybody in here. There's a few people that I do know. I don't know them personally, but names I recognize. Pretty sure Ian Jones Quarty is in here. He worked on Steven Universe back in the heyday, like when it started, and he still does stuff with the game. I'm sure you guys can hear me shuffling around in my chair trying to get comfortable, and I apologize for that. But yeah, we've got all the voice talent, which is awesome. They're all fantastic. Voice actors, like, incredibly. But anyway, was I getting... Oh, Ian Jones Quarty, he worked on the show like when it started. He has his own show on Cartoon Network. It was OK K.O, but it has since been canceled, unfortunately. It was a good show. I didn't like it as much, but it was enjoyable. And as of, I don't think anything's changed. There he is, Ian Jones Quarty. He and Rebecca Sugar are in a romantic relationship, and I think at one point, Rebecca Sugar or he said that their relationship is similar in personality, I guess, to Ruby and Sapphire. I want to say she said that, but I don't have any, it was something I just remember reading back when I got into the show. You guys are going to hear my mouse click because I need to check something really quick.
I knew it wasn't true. I lost. Of course, it should just
there we go. Apologize for that, but I'm recording the voiceover for this in one program, and then it's in another one where I'm going to smush it all together. Because I got sick and tired of losing audio because of Elgato. And I was already going to pick up Reaper Media for music-related stuff for later on down the line. Because I do sort of can play guitar and ukulele. I can get away with a few things. And this show was the reason I wanted to finally do that. When I always wanted to play guitar ever since I was a kid. Started watching this show and I was like, you know what? I'm a grown-ass man. I've got money. And this show inspired me to finally want to learn to do that. So, because there are so many good songs, so many talented individuals that work on this show. But yes, this show was the reason that I wanted to do that. But anyway, I'm recording the audio in Reaper. Reaper's fantastic. I love Reaper from what little I played with it. And then I've got this in my editing program, and I'm just watching it and seeing what I gotta make edits. And this is pretty nice music too. But this is probably Sarashu and the other one. I forget their names, but they do all the music for the show. Well, all of like most of the instrumental stuff for the show. But after this will be, after the credits roll for the final, I think it's this one, final ending, it'll go on to the, if I remember, I'll try to put timestamps for if like there's a certain thing you want to see. Like after this is going to be the final secret zone in the depths. Then after that, it's just going to be a montage of all of the team attacks, minus Pearl and Connie's, because I accidentally cut it out and then deleted the footage because I'm an idiot. But Pearl and Connie's team attack, I can just tell you what it is, because it's the same as Connie and Garnet's, essentially. And then the final, like, minute is all of the weapon upgrades. I need to go back, because I'm actually only missing one trophy for this game, and that's to defeat a boss with the Crying Breakfast Friends badge, which halves all of your stats for your party. And the only boss you can fight is the final one. But here we are at we've got 100% everywhere except for the depths. Well, Bismuth Forge. So we're going to go get all of the final items. And I got a few things. Once some of the stuff I want to talk about with the show and everything will come up after this final secret zone. But as of me finally recording the voiceover for this, the movie has aired. And we have confirmation of not a final season of Steven Universe. Hopefully it's not even final. I mean, yeah, the show has to end eventually, and I want it to end on a good note, but this show is just fantastic. But anyway, it's called Steven Universe Future. It is an epilogue, and the intro to it has shown us some things. And supposedly January 2020 is when it's going to be airing. And I'm hoping it's early January, because I am on vacation like the first week of January, because it's my birthday. And I'm hoping that would be a great birthday present. Oh man, the fucking chromas. I had to farm those to upgrade all the weapons, and I originally wasn't going to. I had decided, nope, not gonna farm all these chromas, and there's the 100% for Bismuth Forge. I actually got this chest in the LP, and if you watch the episode for the Forge, I get it, but my power went out while I was recording, and when I got power back and started recording again, I didn't go back to get that. It didn't save me getting that stuff, so unfortunate, but hey, that's the 100% here. Yeah, I'm so... Also, this game is getting a sequel. It is called Unleash the Light, and it is coming to, unfortunately, as of right now, it is an Apple Arcade exclusive. Why am I standing there? Past me, what are you doing? Man, I hate Past Me. He's a douchebag. If you don't know what Apple Arcade is, it's $5 a month, and it's just a bunch of games on an Apple device. iPad, iPod, iPhone, Mac, stuff like that. And as of right now, Steven Universe Unleash the Light is Apple Arcade exclusive. We'll see if that's going to be permanent, or if we'll see it. I would, if anything, prefer it to be on Switch, though I have my iPad and I have the Apple Arcade on it, because I have learned that I can use my Elgato to record off of an iPad. And as of right now, that's how I'm going to do an LP of Unleash the Light. I cut that out for some reason. I don't remember why. I think it was just... Oh, it was just me wandering around for a few minutes. Because what we want is the last room of this little zone, because this is how we get the final chest here. But anyway, I will be Let's Playing Unleash the Light. I don't know if it's going to be blind or not. And since I can record off of an iPad, I will be Let's Playing Attack the Light, which is the first game in this series, so be on the lookout for that. But Unleash the Light takes place after the movie and what looks like before... takes place after the series, like after Season 5, after Change Your Mind, and before the movie. I was hoping it took place after the movie, because there's a fusion that I want to be in that game that is now not going to be, probably. But the most important thing about Unleash the Light is Lapis is playable, and she's a happy Lappy, and a happy Lappy is a good Lappy. And I am happy that Lappy is happy.
Treasure!
So that's also where we get our final secret who's-y what's-it thingy, and here we are in the Uncharted.
Look at this place.
The hell was that? I'm hearing noises. But the final little secret door is down here. Yes, super excited that Lappy is playable. And more than likely, a bunch of the fusions that show up at the end of Season 5 will be in it too, which will be cool, because it'll make team attacks more interesting than they are in this game. I really wish it was after the movie, though, just because there's a fusion. I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't watched the movie. And just because, but there's a fusion in the movie that I want to be in the game. He probably won't be now. I can actually say he because it's definitely a he. And unfortunately, thanks to the internet, I've seen things that I wish I hadn't. That's the internet. So we finally have the Uncharted depths done, and we're going to our little secret area. I have a canker sore, and that sucks. Anyway, there we go. Adventure is out there. See if this area is more dangerous than the rest. If we run into trouble... Oh, alrighty.
Oh, man.
So this is just a quick... This one's smaller than all the other secret zones. This one's just a quick gauntlet. Get some together breakfast and Rose's tears. I don't understand why Rose's tears are all over the damn place. And why Ronaldo had some. Actually, I can see why Ronaldo would have it, because Ronaldo is weird. I can't stand Ronaldo. I've been rewatching the series. Actually, I'm almost done rewatching the series after the movie came out. And I skipped a bunch of episodes. Not a bunch. I skipped like 5 or 6 episodes. One of those episodes being Ronaldo, because I hate Ronaldo with a passion. I can't stand his character. But rewatching the series, especially like through season 1, when the show was kind of a little more grounded and just kind of goofy, I forgot how much I enjoyed the first season and how much I also get just annoyed with it. But there are so many jokes that, in all honesty, my first watch, I didn't like really catch, but rewatching it, I was catching these jokes. I'm like, wow, that's great. Like, some of them really aren't jokes. It's just the way characters interact. Like, there's an episode in season 1 called, I think it's Too Many Birthdays. And Steven finds out that the gyms don't have birthdays. So he's like, well, you'll all get a birthday. And so he's, they're having all these birthdays, and comes up to one of the gym's birthdays, and he's like, yeah, my dad and I do this at my birthdays all the time. And it's these little, like, cars that you can ride in. Almost like a Power Wheels Jeep. And one of them looks like a CJ6 or a CJ7, which is like World War II era, like army Jeep. What am I doing past me? That's what a CJ7 is, like a World War II. But anyway, it looks like one of those, and Amethyst shapeshifts into like a little baby and gets in it. And just with the way she does it, she's like, which way did the baby war? And that, I don't know, that was funny to me. And I think it's the same episode where Steven and Petey, no, it's a different episode where they do this, but Steven and Petey are at Funland, and they're riding on these little, there's the last light, Steven. They're riding on these little, like, rides out front. They're like a mechanical horse, but it's a seahorse and something else, and Petey's riding on this seahorse, and it's bouncing back and forth, and he goes, this seahorse used to be my favorite ride at Funland, or used to make me so happy. Now it just gives me whiplash. And just, it made me laugh. Stupid jokes like that. And then there's another one in, Too Many Birthdays, where basically Steven doesn't age normally because he's half chim, and I guess he kind of ages based on his mental state, his psyche, And he starts to age because he wants to be older, and he becomes a teenager. And he's at Funland playing all these games. And he's playing, like, games, and it's called, like, Meat Beat Mania, and this, like, game where you have to hit, I can't think of what it's called, but, like, things pop out of a hole and you hit them with a hammer. And he goes, well, I can't spend all day whackering. And I'm like, hey, masturbation jokes. That's funny. Because I'm 4, but I did find it quite funny. But yeah, the Amethyst and the Which Way to the Baby War just, like, killed me for some reason. But yeah, there's a bunch of dumb jokes that... I also just have a really dumb sense of humor, so... No, computer. Don't do that to me. What? We have an issue here, folks. There we go, okay. My computer, when the screensaver came on, so I smacked my mouse to get rid of it, but everything was, like, stopped. Like, I could hear, I got headphones on, I could hear the game in the background, I could hear the episode in the background going, but the screen was just nothing. So I was starting to panic. And Garnet just decided she was done and jumped off the side. This should be the last... Excuse me. Yes, this is the last group of chests. This will be the end of Forge, and we're just going to get a bunch of shit here. Including our final badge, which should be right here, is the Crime Breakfast Friends badge. Reduces the entire team's stats by half. Yikes, for when you won a big challenge. So there's a trophy to beat a boss with that badge. The only boss you can refight is the final boss, so that's the one you're stuck doing. Get some red and orange chroma. And then now we will be heading off, I believe, should be all of the team attacks, and for the fusions, I've got this little notepad here about the people that voice them. Not even a notepad, it's my iPad, and I've gone into the notes and I've made notes, so. This should be Sugalite. Or am I gonna do Opal first? Do I do Sugalite or Opal first? Or do I do Smokey? I do Smokey first. So, Smoky Quartz, in the game, none of the fusions are voiced, but in the series, Smoky Quartz is voiced by Natasha Lyonne. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. And she's just an actress. A lot of people might know her as Nikki Nichols on Netflix's Orange is the New Black. Never watched the show, know nothing about it. She was also, I think this is funny, when she was 6, she was cast as Opal on Pee-wee's Playhouse. So, and she's also the voice of Gaz Digsy on Adult Swim's Ballmasters 9009. I have no idea what that is. In terms of gameplay, I think Smokey is the most underwhelming and useless fusion, because this is all they can do, is that team defense buff and the fans. In terms of the series, I like Smokey. They're not in the show a lot, but when they are, they're pretty entertaining. But in terms of gameplay, I find Smokey to be underwhelming. Probably my least favorite fusion in game. Excuse me again. In the series, I think my least favorite fusion is probably Sugalite. Because Sugalite's in like 2 episodes, and that's more than Opal. Actually, technically Opal's in 3 episodes. Technically. She's in 3. Though Opal's also in the movie. But Opal was technically in 3 episodes, and she has like 4 lines. What does Opal say? She sings Part of Giant Woman, Stay Low, I think she might chuckle, and then she says, I don't have it. And then in a later episode, she, like, sighs. And that's about everything Opal's ever done. But Opal was also in one of the Dove ads that they do with Steven Universe. Here should be Sugalite. So Sugalite is voiced by Nicki Minaj. I don't like Nicki Minaj. If you do, that's cool. I don't. I never found her interesting. I never liked her music. All the stuff, I just don't. That's just me, though. But if you like Nicki Minaj, hey, you do you. I'm just saying I don't. In terms of gameplay, Sugalite is really good for crowd control and AoE. She's a big heavy hitter, and both of her attacks hit pretty much everything. One of them hits everything in front of her, and the other one hits everything everywhere. And the big flame fist causes burn, so that's nice. But yeah, this hits everything and basically in front, and then that other one is a nice little AoE. I think the next fusion is going to be my favorite. Well, she is my favorite, but I think she is next on the list of fusions of team attacks. Big old ground pound, and this dude with his spinny butt. Oh, excuse me. Big old flame fist that didn't kill him. I think Steven finishes him up. Go, Steven. Oh, what am I doing? Why didn't I cut this out? Huh. I don't understand why I didn't cut out all the walking here. I guess I still could, but maybe I didn't do it for a reason. That's weird. I wonder why I did that. You're gonna hear my mouse click again. I apologize. Making sure everything is going good. It looks like it is. Click. Click. Why? Hold on. Why is this?
Best friend, saving the light, do do do.
Oh, I'm just gonna find enemies right here anyway. I don't know why I didn't cut out until I found them, though. That's weird. So this one's either gonna be Opal or Sardonyx.
Ooh, I know.
Pretty sure it was originally Opal, but I accidentally unfused. So it's gonna end up being Sardonyx, I think.
Let's shake it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. That's why that little cut was there, because I think I had Opal and then unfused. I wasn't paying attention to where my where I was as far as my moves go.
Perfect as always.
Perfect. Yeah, it's gonna be Sardonyx. No, I don't want to edit things. Notes, go away. Stop. Stop. No. Go away. Stop being dumb, iPad.
Perfect as
Here we
always.
go.
It's time.
Make sure that, yes, it is going to be Sardonyx. So Sardonyx is voiced by, I'm probably saying her name wrong, but is Alexia Kadim. And, does she do anything? She was in Wicked, Les Mis, The Book of Mormon, and she is Nala in the new Lion King, I'm pretty sure. Or, yeah, I think it's the new, or was it the old, was it the end? Who voiced Nala in the old Lion King movie? So yeah, she voices Nala. I don't know if it's in the live action or the original. I don't remember, even though Lion King is like my favorite movie. Except for the live action one, I want nothing to do with that, simply out of principle. But I love Sardonyx so much. I also want her to show up more. Sardonyx is amazing. She does this cool thing where you're going to see right here when she blocks, her bottom arms spin. And Sardonyx is basically like a game show host, and it's amazing. Excuse me, I keep yawning. Hit that man on the head with the big hammer. You gotta hit that man on the head with a big hammer now. So yeah, after this should be Opal. And Opal is the character, and the episode that she first appears in is the reason why I like fell in love with the show for the most part. Opal is like one of my favorite characters. Hopefully she shows up more. Hashtag Opal for Opal. Opal is voiced by Amy Mann. And Amy Mann is a songwriter and a guitarist. She also can play bass. And Rebecca Sugar has said that Amy Mann was one of her biggest musical inspirations, which is awesome. Amy Mann, if you've never listened to her sing, has an amazing voice, and I recommend you go check her out. She does a bunch of solo stuff. She has done a few songs, or she did a song with Rush. And she is in a band called The Both with another singer-songwriter, guitarist named Ted Leo, who is in Steven Universe the movie. He voices the Fusion that I wish would get to be in the next game. And he's also, Ted Leo, he's also an amazing voice and a really good singer-songwriter. I would recommend you go check him out. He's in a band that's called Ted Leo and the Pharmacists, and then he is in a band with Amy Mann called The Both. And they are both super talented, and you should go check out their music. But, yeah, I love Opal. The episode Giant Woman that she first appears in, that's like episode, like, I don't know, like 12 of season 1. When I first sat down to watch this show, I think I watched, like, the first 20 episodes, and, like, because they're only 10 minutes long, I think I watched it. I got home from work one day and just kind of watched up to that point, and I was like, yeah. That episode came on, and I'm like, okay, I love this. Like, the first episode, you know, I watched it, and I'm like, alright, this is cool, I like this, but when Opal showed up, that cemented it for me. This is probably going to be Stevani, who I think is the most useful fusion in this game. They are really good single target damage, and it's Stevani. Everybody loves Stevani. They are fantastic. Stevani is voiced by Amanda Joy Michalka. Pretty sure I'm saying her last name right. AJ Michalka, who I think someone in her family works on the show, because I remember seeing that last name in the credits. But it wasn't AJ Michalka, it was something else. But anyway, she is on the Goldbergs. She plays Lainey Lewis, and she's in a band with her sister Allie. And she's also in the new She-Ra and Princess of Power cartoon, apparently. I never watched it, so I didn't know that. But yes, Stevani is awesome. And I wish they were in the show more often. But yeah, as far as the fusions go, I think Stevani, to me, is one of the more useful, just because of the high single target damage that they can output. Other than that, I would say probably Opal, because Opal's got a nice spread of, she's got a good single target, not single target, she's got a good little AoE move, plus a nice single target damage. So I would say Stevani and Opal are two of the more useful fusions, followed probably by Sugalite, and then probably Sardonyx, and then Smokey. That's kind of how I would rank them. But that's just my own personal, how I use them, and I would say Stevani is definitely the one I use the most. I don't use Opal that much because I don't often have Amethyst in my party. But there are other fusions in the series, obviously. Some that are not in this game. And one of them I'm surprised isn't in this game, and that's Alexandrite, who is a fusion of all of the crystal gems, Pearl, Garnet, and Amethyst. And she was in the previous game, but she was the only fusion. It was just her. I wish she was in this game, because Alexandrite's really cool and, menacing. She's got, 2 mouths, and she can friggin' breathe fire and stuff, but yeah, she's pretty awesome. And her musical score is really cool, because it's this amalgamation of all of the other gems, Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl's, musical intro, music. They all have this specific style of music they use for the gems, and Alexandrite's theme song is this amalgamation of it, and it's just a really cool, song. I can't remember who voices Alexandrite off the top of my head, and I just put my iPad away, and I don't feel like reaching for it to go check. But she's not in the game, so. But that was Garnet and Connie's tag team attack. It's just a combo. Pearl and Connie have the exact same attack, so you're gonna miss it, but that's what it is. This is probably going to be Peridot and Connie.
Time for teamwork. Yes.
So this is where I hope they do better in Unleash the Light with this. Aside from the fusions and a couple of other team attacks, they're all pretty lame. Because they're either just combos or stuff like this, where you just play baseball with Peridot's mines, which sounds like not a good idea.
Yeah.
But that's Connie and Peridot's tag attack. And
I've got just the thing.
I think I bust out another one
How
here.
about this?
I think it's Connie and Amethyst, which is another one where it's like, eh. This is a little, little lame.
I believe in you.
Did that give them enough to do their team attack? I don't know. There we go, that did it.
You get the kudos.
Thank you, Peridot. Peridot's also another reason why I started watching the show, because before I ever started watching the show, so Connie and Peridot, Connie and Amethyst, I mean, his team attack is called Tutor. Connie reads to Amethyst, and they both get an attack buff. But Peridot is another reason I really started to watch the show, because before I ever watched the show, I started watching the show, I think, Season 2 had just ended, I think, when I started watching it. Season 2 had just ended, I think. Yeah. Or was it? No, Season 3 was like... It was in the middle of Season 3, I think. Anyway, I saw a clip of Peridot pushing Greg off a roof. And I was like, oh, this is actually... She's kind of adorable. And Peridot is incredibly adorable. I love Peridot. So, yeah. She reads, they get a attack or a defense buff. Like I said, hopefully in Unleash the Light, it's a little more interesting than that. Because that's just kind of lame. I don't know who this is going to be. Computer? Oh, it's going to be Peridot and Stevens, where they just play video games, and they just produce a bunch of star points.
I believe in you.
And then I'm going to do Peridot and Amethysts, which is another one that's just kind of... Oh, excuse me. Shit. Another one that's just kind of lame. I like how he just blocks the hit and he's like, nah, going back to video games. Fuck you.
Positive energy.
I don't know why I did that.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't know what Past Me was doing.
Amethyst, you rule.
Farming for encouragement? I don't know. I don't know what I was doing there. But this should be Amethyst and Peridot's team attack. But this is another one where I'm just like, I don't really see the utility in it either.
Bring it, Prism Pop.
Because it stuns them, and then you get Peridot's RPG, which debuffs any enemies in range, which that's nice, but that stun is just kind of meh. Like I said, outside of a couple, most of the team attacks aren't all that useful to me. The fusions are the most useful. So yeah, I will try to remember to put timestamps. Oh yeah, I remember this, like, battle didn't start because the team was like dispersed so heavily that the game like would not start the battle, so I just kept getting to roll into that guy. I will try to put timestamps in for the different sections because I'm sure you don't want to watch all of this. But here's Steven and Greg's. It's unique in like what it is, but I think it overheals. Yeah, it overheals like the whole party.
This'll do the trick.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm trying to get Greg and Connie's team attack. Which is, this one's for you. A special jam that gives Connie an attack boost. He does the same thing to Pearl.
I've got just the thing. Ooh, I know.
Excuse me, I'm sorry I keep yawning so much.
Guys, how about this?
I'm not even that tired. And hell, it's only, what, 6:30 where I am right now? What am I, like 4? I mean, it's bedtime. Hey, leave Greg alone. But I've got the kudos badge on Greg, so he can just give kudos to everybody. So it's easy to,
Those are some mean machines, Paradox.
it's easy to get, relationship points with that badge. Target an area on the field, then drive a van through their hearts. So this one's another one that's, it's lame, it's unique, but it's funny, because you get to drive a van through their hearts.
Who needs a plan when you've got a van?
I don't think the van would really survive that, but I like you drop the van and then Greg just drives off.
Not for the tunes.
I need to stop yawning, that's starting to drive me nuts. Oh, that was not good.
Way to go, Paradox.
But yeah, I can't wait for Unleash the Light. I'm super excited for that. My love for this show might border on an obsession, but I think that's okay. I wish I would have watched it when it first started, but I don't know, I never was interested in it. Until my boss, my old boss, I still work with him, he's just not my boss. Till he showed me Stronger Than You, and I was like, yeah, I need to go watch this. Then I fell in love with it. I have survived the hiatuses. I've been there in the good times, and I've been there in the bad. I was there for Rock'n'Aldo. This is probably going to be Pearl and Greg, and Garnet and Greg.
Remind me to never get on your bad side, Garnet.
Which Garnet and Greg jam together, creating dual damage auras. This one's unique, and I like that Garnet plays the guitar. Or wait, that is a guitar, isn't it? Isn't that what it's called? I'm not super knowledgeable of instruments. If it's a guitar or a bass, I can kind of... Oh, I know what that is. Sort of. I have a hard time with who made it. I just looking at it. I can tell body styles, that's it.
That was amazing! That was amazing!
That was amazing! Okay, Greg, you need to stop.
Do your thing.
Way to go, Pearl.
That was perfect.
We're in perfect harmony.
Yeah, he does the same thing with Pearl that he did with Connie. He gives her an attack buff, attack and defense.
Perfect as always, Pearl.
That should be. I don't know who's left. I don't know why I didn't cut out these battles after I was done, but doing that I probably could have cut out like another 5 or 10 minutes. Oh well, what's done is done. It's not a big deal. You're okay, Greg. Walk it off. I should have done Fireball to that guy, because I'm pretty sure it would have destroyed his shield. This will destroy his shield. Another thing I would like with Unleash the Light is being able to have Ruby and Sapphire. I know Garnet, you have to have Garnet, but I would love to just see Ruby and Sapphire more often. Oh, this is Amethyst and Greg, which is the same exact thing that Amethyst and Peridot do. Except it doesn't give the, it doesn't keep the thing up that, I noticed Greg's guitar pick's got a little star on it. I like that. His plectrum. That is the actual term for a guitar pick. It's called a plectrum. And when I learned that, I was just like mind blown because forever and ever it was just a guitar pick. And then my one friend who knows stuff about musical instruments called it a plectrum, and I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's a plectrum. This was back in, I don't know, I think I was a freshman in middle school. I might have been, yeah, I think I was a freshman in middle school, freshman in high school. And I had a friend that I'd known for a while that played guitar. And he was like, yeah, it's a plectrum. And I'm like, what? It's a guitar pick. He's like, yeah, it's called a plectrum. And I was just like, no, that's stupid. It's a guitar pick. I don't know. I didn't know that until then. Like, this is, I don't know, fucking blowing my mind, man. I missed. Oh, that doesn't destroy his shield. I would have assumed it would have. It did a lot of damage, though. Oh, he dropped a green chroma.
What am I gonna pick? What am I gonna pick?
Whose is this gonna be? Probably Peridot and Garnet. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be Peridot and Garnet. Peridot and Garnet. That look on Steven's face was great. It's gonna be Peridot and Garnet and Peridot and Pearl. Which Peridot and Garnet have the same type of move that Greg or Garnet and Steven do. Just waiting for my star points so I can spam the kudos.
Performance by the Garnet.
I don't know how Garnet appreciates you calling her the Garnet. She doesn't seem to care.
Maybe this?
It's another episode that I watched recently that I'm like, I really like this episode. It's the Crystal Temps. Where like the main cast, like Steven, Amethyst, Garnet, Pearl, go into space, and that leaves Connie, Lapis, and Peridot to protect Beach City. And Peridot's like, all right, we'll be the Crystal Gems. I'll be Garnet, Lapis, you're Amethyst, Pumpkin can be Pearl, and Connie is Steven. And I really want to see Lapis as Amethyst more because it's just Lapis, but she has her bangs covering her face, and the way she acts really just makes me laugh. Like, it starts with Connie bursting into Steven's bathroom because she hears noises, and Peridot used to hang out in the bathroom when the series first started, and she tries to flush herself down the toilet. There we go, team building exercises. So Connie goes in there, and Lapis is trying to flush Peridot down the toilet. Thinking about that whole thing is making me laugh. It's so dumb. And Peridot goes, don't you knock? And Lapis is like, yeah, weirdo. Oh, I love Peridot and Lapis together. But yeah, Peridot and Pearl just build a big parry cannon, and then Garnet and Peridot, they do this. Peridot gets into her escape pod, and Garnet throws it. Same thing that Steven and Garnet do. That was a big, thick boy, though. He took some damage.
Ready?
Computer, stop. We are coming up towards the end, though. I think this is the last group of team attacks, and the last little bit is just going to be... Yeah, it's going to be weapon upgrades. Because I finally have enough chroma to do it. And this will take, like, 2-3 minutes to go through. Yeah, I originally wasn't going to do all of this. I recorded everything else that you all just watched, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not doing all the weapons. It's going to take too long. And then I'm like, nah, I'll go ahead and do all the weapons. Super Shiny Rose's sword. Connie's Swordstorm ability now breaks shields and applies a defense down effect to the target. So that's not too awful bad. Most of the upgrades aren't, like, fantastic. I'd say that's probably the best one. Especially couple it with her Efficient Sword Storm, which reduces its cost by 1. That's not that bad of an... That's, like, not that bad of a upgrade. Super Shiny Pearl Spear. When getting a perfect strike against a target with 20% health or less, there's a 25% chance Pearl will instantly defeat them. Does not work on bosses. I love the music for the Forge. So we'll get the Super Shiny Tablet. Reduces the cost of Molten Core by 1 star. I think it only costs 3. So that's eh. This will give us the Super Shiny Guitar. While jamming, manually activate 1 extra bonus pulse of the current jam. Eh. I would say Connie probably has the best upgrade. And finally, Rose's Shield. So we'll get the Super Shiny Shield. Stronger shield dash, that deals higher damage, and double knockback, and a guaranteed lucky strike. Alright, that's going to do it all for now. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know I did, back in business, and I hope to see you all next time. Until then, take it easy, and have a good one. Later.